Okay, so it's good to be back, but I'm going to get a video pretty soon up on how to make water splash in a glass in Blender, but for the meantime, I'm just going to review hand coding. So, I got an email earlier this afternoon about this really great programming processor called Processing. Now, it's an object-oriented language based on Java, but it's really easy. It's nothing like Java. It looks pretty simple, but what this can do is wonders because it starts out with the graphical interface and it doesn't require you to set it up quickly, but yet it still is complicated and low down. And you can go as far as you want with it. What I also like is that it's immediately a graphical interface that you can create without these complicated functions, and it was written by 2 MIT graduates. Anyway, what you'll notice is you can just run the program right off the bat, and voila, you get a little rectangle. Now that doesn't look nice, so let's set it up. So first what you do is you do void, because it's a class. You start all classes with void, and you put in this function, setup. Now the setup is something that runs initially at first, and doesn't run only runs once. So now, at the end, I'm going to show you a program that when you drag through it, it draws squares just like Doodle Kids of random shapes. Of random colors, but I haven't figured out how to do a random shape yet without it taking one long drag streak. Like, I can make it do a random shape, but what will happen is as I drag, it'll either input a square circle, so you'll see my line of squares and you'll see square, 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 circle, 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 square, square, square. So anyway, enough talking. I know how much people hate that. So let's just start out right off the bat by making the size bigger. We type in the function size, and this has two parameters, the x and y coordinates. The Z programming, you'll have to change the output to a different library, but we'll get to that more advanced stuff in the next tutorial. So we'll just name it 400 by 400 pixels. Okay, good. Now when you run it, you'll see. Ooh, I had to end my statement. Sorry. Okay. So here we go. Now right here, already, we have it's a lot bigger. So now I'm just going to run you through some lines. To create an ellipse, which is any kind of circle, this doesn't operate off of exact geometrical figures. For example, it doesn't have a sphere it doesn't have a sphere command, it doesn't have a cube command, it doesn't have a square command, it doesn't have a circle command. You have to define everything from rectangles, boxes, ellipses. Yeah, you get the idea. So, now, the sphere takes 3 parameters. First, it's x and y position, so we'll just name it 0, 0. And then third, its diameter. So we'll just make it 50. You always end with semicolons now. Not its diameter. Sorry, it's not a circle. It's 2 edge sides. So think of it as a square, and then inside a rectangle, and inside that rectangle we draw a circle. That's how it works. So we'll just make it a perfect circle for now and name it 50 by 50. Now, right here, it has it right here, but it's at 0, 0, so it's a little cut off. So we'll just put it at, let's see, 2020. Okay. See, it gets even a little bit, but it still has a little cut off. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so then to draw a line, same thing. You would do the line. Its starting coordinates, so we'll just do 0, 0, and then its ending coordinates, which we'll do 50, 50. So you just create a line segment, and right here. Okay, now we'll get into functions. So setup. That's all we need the setup for. Now we're going to create a draw. Now a draw is like a loop. It goes over and over again unconditionally. So for this draw, we're going to make the background any random color. So we're going to name it random. And then we're going to name it background. Sorry, it's the background function that defines it. Now we could just enter in the red, blue, and green IDs, or we could enter in the print